Hello, I'm Joe Wetzel with Inkwell Ideas, and wanted to show you a new product that we have coming out at PAX Unplugged this weekend, and we'll have it in our store and elsewhere over the next couple of weeks, but we'll be debuting it there at PAX Unplugged. We have booth number, I believe, 2553, kind of towards the back and towards the right a little bit. Here's the cover of the new deck. This is the Creature Codex. This is the first deck of creatures that we're doing under license from Kobold Press for their Creature Codex book with 5e 5th edition D&D creatures in it. And we're taking the CR 0 to 2 creatures, most of them, and putting them in here. A few of them that kind of fit with another group of creatures of a higher challenge rating we put in another deck that we're planning to come out with shortly. That's already in editing. That will be the second deck. But let me take you through this deck a little bit. I picked those couple of cards here that I held up a moment ago. We've got the giant moth here, which would be held up this way. If you want the picture of it, let's see if you can zoom in or not. We'll get to it on the PDF as well. We have the stats on the back. This is the Anopheloi. I'm not quite sure the pronunciation. Have to talk to Wolfgang about that, I suppose. But it is a monstrosity here that has a blood-sucking ability, I'm sure. And it just looks cool, so I kind of picked those two. But we continuing on here, so with the PDF, we've got all these creatures. As I said, they're the creatures that are challenge rating from 0 to 2, and then we're doing another deck with 3 to 5 and so forth, just like what we did with the Tome of Beasts, where we came up with the decks of beasts under license from Kobold Press there as well. Well, you can see some of them have a lot of rules to them, so as usual, we kind of condense things down. We keep the complete meaning of the rules, but we just kind of try to find the shortest way to kind of to say things, such as we'll put the saving throws in parentheses and just say, DC Wisdom DC 13 halves or something like that. So that's how we kind of get it all to fit onto one card. In some cases, we'll go down and use an 8-point font, but for the most part, we're using 8.5. Sometimes 8. Rarely, maybe for 2 cards, we'll go down to 7.5-point font. But even that, it's still a rather tall font. Actually, comparing it to the recently released monster cards from Gale Force 9, the font that we're using, even at a 7.5 height, is still taller than what they had chosen for their cards. So, Dragonborn that he has. So we've got all those in this deck. Just kind of, we've got some of the goblins in this deck. Inkling, that was just one that I really liked. I like the concept behind this guy. Mandrake, I just love the art. So we've got that there. All these moths are in this deck. The Necrotic Tick, this was a difficult one to fit onto one card, but we managed to do it. And it's a pretty nasty creature. If you haven't seen the Creature Codex that Kobold Press has, it's pretty cool. Orcs, so we've got a number of orcs in the deck. In a few cases, we'll grab a higher level CR creature if there's already 3 creatures in the deck that are, say, I don't know for a fact, but all the orcs. If I go back here, so here, yeah, we have a CR3 orc. That's because it just made sense to stick that orc with the other orcs. And then vice versa. There might be some creatures in this deck or in the book that are CR 2 or 1, and they would fit better with another group of creatures. So that's what we did for the most part with most creature types. A few times it's just completely spread out. So we're like, okay, well, we're going to do 2 in this deck and 2 in that deck and probably 2 in the third deck and so forth. So just kind of scanning through here so you guys can get a peek at what the art looks like. Skeletons. This is the cover art. Here's what the deck box looks like. If you order from us, you'll get the box on drive-through. When we put it up there, we generally don't do the box art. This is also going to be a non-standard size for them, so it's unlikely that will have the box art there. But if you see us at a convention or order from our store or through Kobold's store, once they get them, they'll be you'll be able to get the box as well if you like that. So I just loved the art on this one, and I said to Wolfgang, hey, can we please use this guy? He looks awesome. I like the smile on his face, and he just seems fun. So in the deck overall, we've got 88 creature cards. There's actually 89 creatures because that Mandrino was, no, it's into Mandrake, excuse me. Thinking ahead to one of the later decks. But the Mandrake has 2 on there, so that gives us 89 creatures. And it's 90 cards in all because we have the OGL license card. And we have a front card, which is a checklist card, which also just matches what the box looks like. So if you don't get the box, you still can get the full checklist of everything to expect, as well as the symbol key and all. So that's what we've got. Again, we'll be having it on our store shortly after we're back from PAX Unplugged. We'll have it there at the convention. I'm sure Wolfgang will be picking up some for the Kobold Press store, and we'll have them on drive-through as well. So that covers it. Hope to see you at PAX Unplugged. Please stop by, and otherwise, happy gaming.